Welcome to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because we are diving into something incredibly powerful today: wholehearted devotion. We're going to jump right in and anchor our whole discussion in the Bible, specifically looking at a text that's really going to set the stage. Our title is Test Me in This, Says the Lord, and we're looking at Malachi 3:1 together, which says, I will send my messenger who will prepare the way before me. Then suddenly the Lord you are seeking will come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant whom you desire will come, says the Lord Almighty. This text, it's rich, it's challenging, and it's literally a game changer for how we approach seeking him.
So here's the roadmap for where we're heading today. We'll start with the historical context for Malachi, look at our main finding on the refining fire, and then contrast two mindsets: cynicism versus devotion. After that, we'll walk through a step-by-step retreat process, discuss the implications for college students, and finally wrap up with our conclusion: bring your all.
All right, let's get into it. Section 1, historical context from Malachi.
To really get what's happening here, you have to picture the historical setting. We are looking at a group of people who are just completely burned out. They've grown deeply cynical and weary. Why? Well, from where they're standing, the wicked seem to be the ones prospering. They're looking around, seeing all this injustice, losing hope, and they're openly asking, where is his justice? They're exhausted. They're wondering if doing the right thing even matters anymore. And honestly, it's right into the middle of this exact wearisome environment that a massive announcement drops.
Moving right along to Section 2, our main finding, the refining fire.
Okay, so let's define a super important term from that opening verse we read. Who is the messenger? This is a direct historical reference pointing straight to John the Baptist. His entire mission was to prepare the way for Jesus to come. Jesus is the Lord they were all seeking, the messenger of the covenant they desired. But here is the fascinating part: how Jesus arrives and what he actually does when he gets there totally flips the script.
Because he comes not just to comfort his people, but to sovereignly refine and purify them. When we look at this through the lens of Reformed Calvinism theology, it paints this incredible, beautiful picture of his sovereign grace. When Jesus comes, he doesn't just pat our human weariness on the back and say, there. No, he actively, purposefully, and sovereignly refines his people like a fire. He is burning away the dross, burning away the cynicism and the sin to leave behind something completely pure. It's an intense, active intervention, proving that his justice and his love, well, they often look a whole lot like purification.
That brings us perfectly to Section 3, two mindsets: cynicism versus devotion. So, we see this really stark contrast in how people respond to his sovereign work. On one hand, you've got the cynical mindset. This theory basically says it's futile to serve God. People with this mindset hold back. They keep their walls up because they just don't trust the outcome. But on the exact opposite side, we have the devoted mindset. This theory says test his generous blessing. Instead of holding back out of fear or sheer exhaustion, this mindset leans all the way in. They fully trust in his ultimate faithfulness, even when that refining fire feels a little hot. And we actually have the most incredible evidence of his promise right here in Malachi 3:10. Listen to this. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and see if I will not pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. I mean, wow, he is literally actively inviting his people to test him. He promises that when we bring our wholehearted obedience, bring in the absolute whole tithe, and holding literally nothing back, he is going to respond with this overflowing, uncontainable, mind-blowing generosity. Which leads us right into Section 4, the step-by-step retreat process. Now let's take all this big picture theology and get super practical. The source material lays out a really clear, actionable 3-step process for preparing for a retreat. Step 1, identify areas to purify. Before you even pack a single bag, look inward. Is there an attitude, maybe a habit, or a specific relationship that needs his fire? Step 2, pray for his refining work. Don't just pray, hey, let this be a fun trip. No, specifically ask him to do that hard refining work inside you. And step 3, go seeking the Lord. Don't go chasing a cool experience. Go seeking him personally. Following this structure, make sure you show up with open hands and a totally open heart. Now for our next part, Section 5, implications for college students. So what does testing him and bringing the whole tithe actually look like if you're a college student heading to summer boot camp? Well, it takes a very practical form. It means giving up your summer. It means giving your undivided attention, your peak energy, and your time.
It means you aren't holding on to a safety net or keeping one foot out the door just in case. It's a direct challenge to bring your absolute best to the boot camp, trusting that if you offer him the whole shebang, you're going to see exactly what he will faithfully do in response.
And finally, Section 6, Conclusion, Bring Your All.
The big takeaway here, bring your whole self. Seriously, do not just settle for an emotional high. Look, we all know the temptation of any retreat or boot camp is to just go for the fun, hang out with friends, and ride that temporary emotional lift. But the truth we've uncovered from the Bible today demands so much more than that. It's an invitation to be genuinely, deeply purified by His Word. It's asking you to bring your whole tithe, your entire self, into the storehouse.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. What is one area where you sense he wants to do refining work in you? Seriously, let that sit with you for a minute. As you prepare for whatever is next, a summer boot camp, a retreat, or just your day-to-day walk, I challenge you to actively invite his refining fire right into that specific area. Test him in this and watch how he pours out his blessing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep seeking, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.